The biggest game of Caitlin Clark's career just shocked the basketball world.
Here's Clark, working behind Boston. Clark for the lead.
Game 2 of the WNBA playoffs, and after a tough loss in Game 1 against the Connecticut Sun, Caitlin was fighting to keep the playoff dream alive. This was a win-or-go-home situation, but navigating uncharted territory, this battle was far from a walk in the park.
Now the officials calling on security. And now security is going to have a conversation with that gentleman.
Chapter 1, First Quarter Fireworks. After Indiana's worst combined shooting performance in Game 1, no one of the Suns picked up Caitlin on the first possession, and she wasted no time turning things around.
Great passage.
No one picks up Clark, who cans the three.
Indiana's transition game was on full display, with Clark on the forefront dictating. She was everywhere on the floor, grabbing rebounds and pushing the ball in transition, finding her teammates with pinpoint accuracy.
Caitlin Clark. Clark dumps it down. Oh, lays it in.
But it wasn't just the on-court battle heating up. Midway through the first quarter, Caitlin and Dewana Bonner exchanged words after a physical play.
And Clark wanted a foul, but a shot clock violation. Now Bonner and Clark get into it, and is in her landing spot. No foul was called.
The tension escalated moments later when Clark got into it with a fan sitting courtside, drawing the officials' attention, where security had to intervene.
So she was going back and forth within the front row and pointing it out to the officials. Now the officials calling on security.
But she stayed locked in. With her focus regained, Clark continued to orchestrate the Indiana offense masterfully.
In this first.
Good looks, though. They're getting good looks.
Clark connects!
Despite Indiana's strong start, the Fever's momentum slowed as the Suns' defense began to settle in.
And then here.
Picks the pocket but throws it away.
A controversial foul call on Mitchell left Indiana frustrated, already racking up 7 fouls to the Suns' only 1.
Foul on Kelsey Mitchell.
I don't really think it's a foul at all.
I agree.
Meanwhile, Connecticut capitalized on the other end, bringing themselves right back into the game.
He's three. He's good.
And just like that, the tables turned. Connecticut closed the quarter on an 11-0 run, swinging the momentum firmly back in their favor. The Fever, who had started the game with a 10-4 lead, now found themselves trailing 17-14. For Clark and Indiana, it was clear. This would be a battle to the very end.
All right, I'm calling you spicy, Caitlin, tonight. I see you get into it with the fan, with the refs. How do you maintain your composure but still keep that edge?
Stay focused about what's on the floor and my 4 other teammates that are right here with me. I think that's most important, and I thought we got a good start, but can't let them back in after we get a little lead.
Thank Caitlin.
Chapter 2, Second Quarter, Dimes and Shines. The second quarter didn't start the way Indiana hoped, with 2 starters still in foul trouble from the first and forced to sit out. Clark tried to create, but Connecticut's defense tightened up inside, allowing the Sun to capitalize and extend their lead to 8.
Get back and stop this.
Yeah, that's stop. That's a balance tonight. We got to figure that out.
But Caitlin wasn't about to let Indiana fade away. She took matters into her own hands, banking it in to give Indiana a much-needed boost. Indiana struggled to maintain their momentum, as not even a minute later, Clark picked up her first foul of the game.
Avery follows it up, and Clark pushes her. That's going to be a second foul, make it number 1 on Caitlin Clark.
The Fever were still looking for a way to turn the game in their favor. They needed a spark, and Clark delivered again. This time, it wasn't with just her scoring.
Here's Clark through the lane. Clark able to serve.
It was her passing as well.
Clark lobbing it beautifully to Boston for 2. What a dish from Caitlin Clark in Boston, her first bucket of the night.
Early in her career, her teammates weren't used to her pinpoint passes, often saying they took a lot of basketballs to the face. Clark's unique passing ability is reminiscent of her favorite NFL quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, with her ability to deliver from different angles. And it's that vision that keeps Indiana in the game. But Connecticut responded quickly, with Bonner and Thomas leading the way.
Bench 9-0, what a dish. Bonner to her fiancé, Thomas for 2.
A clever pass from Bonner to her fiancé allowed the Sun to continue attacking inside. However, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't about to be outdone. She showed off her quick handles, getting around Bonner with a spin and finishing with the left hand.
Mitchell cups it in. Beautiful take from Kelsey Mitchell.
To keep Indiana within striking distance, whenever the Fever needed a bucket, Mitchell and Clark were there to answer. As the quarter drew to a close, Clark continued to push the pace, finding Wheeler for a wide-open layup. But the shot just didn't fall. Wheeler hit the deck hard, and Indiana headed into the locker room, trailing 41-34, with both teams knowing the second half would be a battle. Chapter 3, third quarter, CC versus AT. Despite their struggles, the Fever weren't out of this yet. Clark finished the half with 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. And out of the break, she immediately made her presence felt.
To the paint, able to finish.
Again, court vision on full display, threading the needle.
Clark around the screen, bounces to Boston beautifully for the finish.
This kind of pretty basketball brought the game back to even, tying it at 41. But Connecticut had a quick answer out of the timeout. Carrington's active hands forced a steal from Clark, leading to a fast break layup and a shift in momentum.
Comes up with a steal. Carrington in for 2. And out of the timeout, a strong response from the Sun.
Not on Clark's watch. She grabbed a quick rebound and charged down the lane for a smooth finish, bringing her total to 18 points. Kelsey Mitchell also came up big in the third, hitting a contested step-back 3 over Carrington to bring Indiana within 1.
Step back 3 is good with Carrington draped all over her.
Clark continued to orchestrate the offense and letting nobody get in her way.
Gets Burton on her hip, separates, and knocks down the midi.
But Connecticut wasn't letting up. Burton guarded Clark 94 feet, bumping her all the way down the court.
Clark, 94 feet. Clark?
Clark looked to the officials for a call, but none came. The physicality was ramping up as the game wore on, but one thing was clear. The refs weren't helping, so Caitlin had to do it herself.
He gets inside of Clark, and Clark comes up with a rejection.
As the third quarter came to a close, it was a battle of stars. Caitlin Clark was carrying Indiana on her back, breaking yet another record in the process, while Alyssa Thomas was doing the same for Connecticut.
Get free to shoot, fading away. Alyssa Thomas, is here.
With just 10 minutes left, and the Sun leading 59-52, both teams were fighting for their playoff lives.
They're giving me. If they want to sag off, then I'm going to pick them apart in a different way.
Chapter 4, to be or not to be. The fourth quarter began with the Sun pushing hard, led by Alyssa Thomas, who powered through contact for a tough finish and let out a roar. Indiana's offense began to stall as Fagbinla found herself isolated, with no help and unable to get a clean look against Thomas.
5 to shoot. Back Bentley needs some help. Not getting any. Shot clock's about to expire. A lost possession for Indiana.
But Indiana wasn't done yet. Caitlin Clark came up with a big steal and immediately got the ball ahead to Kelsey Mitchell.
Edson Mitchell turns on the burners and serves it in.
Just like that, Indiana cut the lead down to 5, forcing a Connecticut timeout. Caitlin was playing her heart out, hit a tough mid-range jumper with defenders all over her. She then followed it up by finding Fagbenle for a 3-pointer, bringing Indiana right back into the game. It was now 63-70 with 5 minutes left. Clark wasn't done. With just under 3 minutes to go, she worked off a Boston screen, created just enough space, and nailed a huge 3-pointer to tie the game at 73.
Clark for the lead. Indiana has come all the way back. A 12-2 run.
It was a battle now. Both teams were fighting for survival, and Connecticut responded instantly.
Mabry looking to respond. She does.
On the other end, Boston kept the play alive, finding Fagbenle for a crucial layup to tie the game at 73. Caitlin Clark, having made history today as the first rookie with 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a playoff game, was now facing the ultimate question. Would this be her final game of the season, or would she force a Game 3?
Here in this game.
She let Boston go to work inside, laying it in to put the Fever back on top. But the real dagger came from Dewana Bonner, who answered with a massive 3 to extend Connecticut's lead. Out of the timeout, Indiana couldn't capitalize. Mabry came up big once again, draining a wide-open 3 after a defensive miscommunication by Indiana. With 44.5 seconds remaining, Clark wanted to make one last push, but surrounded by defenders off the inbound, Hull passed the ball to Mitchell instead.
Hull trying to get it in, finds Mitchell, deep 3, banks off, rebound Nelson Adoda.
After playing the free throw game, it was 85-79 with 20 seconds left, and Caitlin had one last opportunity to keep Indiana's hopes alive.
Just a quick screen for Caitlin Clark, see if she can get a 3 up.
Clark trying to get it up across her body, back iron, no, out of bounds to Connecticut, and that should just about do it.
In the end, it was Connecticut's veteran poise that carried them through, sending them to their 6th straight semifinals. Caitlin Clark's historic rookie run ended tonight, but there's no doubt this is just the big legacy.
What the fuck did I just do, man?